All right, we're ready to get started. So today we're here to talk about the 2025 through 2029 consolidated plan and first year action plan for the city of Valdosta. Okay. All right. So just a refresher, we came out last year, did some needs assessment meetings, got a lot of feedback from the community about the needs in the community, things you wanted to see included in this particular consolidated planning period. So just a refresher on what these documents are that we're preparing for the city. The consolidated plan is essentially a 5-year strategic plan that talks about community development, housing, homelessness, and then the priorities that the city wants to undertake for the next 5 years. And the annual action plan. So this is a document that kind of coincides with the consolidated plan. It's done every single year. And that is a plan that identifies what actual projects the city is going to undertake for the year. So the action plan coincides with the consolidated plan. So we use the action plan to essentially get things done. Okay. The third document that we're talking about is the analysis of impediments to fair housing choice. And so this is a document that the city is required to complete every 5 years. And that document really just identifies barriers to housing in the community. It's a document that we use to identify those things, and ideally we create programs to alleviate some of those things. So those are the 3 documents we're talking about here today. The citizen participation component of it is a big part of this process. So like I said, last year we came out, we met with a bunch of folks maybe around this time last year. I think it was May of last year. We got a lot of feedback. We posted these things online. We posted things in the newspaper. Public meetings, we typically will post those in the paper, post it on Facebook, social media, all of that stuff. We'll do some outreach to certain agencies and local stakeholders. So we did that last year. We held, like I said, 2 needs assessment meetings last year. Actually, that was in February of last year. And then we opened a community survey. And the city of Valdosta got 348 responses to the survey, which is really good. Considering the size of your city and some of the other cities we've worked with, you guys were a little bit more engaged than even some of the larger cities that we work with. So really kudos for that. The plan that we're working on, we're required to do a 30-day comment period. So we're currently within that 30-day comment period. So the period goes from May 23rd through June 24th. So it'll end in about 12 days. So if you are here today, you have comments, or you think about some comments when you go home, or if you're on live and you have comments, you can provide those comments back to the city before June 24th. So that's when the comment period will end. You can send those in writing. If it's something we need to respond to, we will. If it's just a comment, we'll make sure it's included in the plan. So today is the final public hearing. So this is the final time that you'll be able to give a verbal comment. And that's today at 4. So we are having that meeting right now. So now I'm going to move into talking about the priorities that we identified based on the feedback that we received. So improving access to affordable housing. I know that is a big component in most cities right now. Preserving existing affordable housing. So there's some things that's in the community that's affordable right now. We want to make sure we're preserving that. Improving access to public services to build self-sufficiency and sustainability. So this may be some programs that can directly assist people in the community. Increasing economic development activity and affirmatively furthering fair housing, improving public infrastructure and facilities. So this could be anything like a road, it could be a park, it could be a community center, things of that nature. And then planning and administration. So we've got to have somebody to make sure these things are getting done. All right. So these are the priorities. So these are kind of the overarching things that the city's going to focus on for the next 5 years. So then, in addition to the priorities, we have some specific goals. So this particular year, the city is wanting to support the development of small and emerging businesses by providing technical assistance for job creation and retention. So if there are small businesses that want to get assistance or technical assistance from the city, we're able to do that under this grant program. Providing employment training and opportunities for youth that are in the low income population. Supporting the provision of affordable housing through housing rehab. So that's something that that's near and dear to the city's heart. Increasing fair housing education throughout the community. So that's something that's really, really important to make sure that people are aware of their rights and also their responsibilities, because we know they kind of go hand in hand. And then planning and program oversight. So we'll talk about the projects next that the city is going to actually undertake in 2025. So this should say 2025 projects, not 2025 through 29. All right, so fair housing education, the city's putting about $10,000 towards that. Economic development, about $5,000 for that. Public services, $60,000. So there's some agencies that may be undertaking some programs for that. And the bulk of the money for the city is going into affordable housing. So that's one of the major priorities for the city to make sure they are tackling that priority. So these are the projects for the year. And the next steps in this process, like I said earlier, the comment period ends on June 24th. It goes for council approval on July 10th. And once council approves the plan, then we get it submitted to HUD, and the city will do all of their paperwork, and then we can start spending money. Yay. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to Anitra over in community development. If you have comments that you want to add, her email is here. You can get that over to her by June 24th at 5 p.m. So if you have it to her by then, we'll get those comments included in the plan. So does anybody have any questions in the room? Yes, ma'am.
I have one question.
Sure.
First of all, I was just wondering, when we were talking about some of the projects, could you turn back one slide, go back a slide?
Yes.
Maybe one more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with affordable housing, is that project, would that be the project that we have? And that's for the city to come up with projects. We can use, are you saying the city can use those fundings like partnership with other organizations, or partnership with, we can't?
When I come before you on July 10th, that's the housing program.
Okay.
So that's what. So the fair housing education is like what we did part of. That goes to fair housing. Affordable housing is really the reconstruct and the rehab that the city does through the housing program.
So that's just helping those who already got houses.
Yeah, the city's housing program that was already in place.
I mean, like projects and stuff.
No, the rehab and the reconstruction.
We doing stuff to help
When we take applications on that, yes, ma'am.
groups and things like that.
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay. And that's.
It's not a statement, I just want to make a comment, it's not a question, it's only a comment. They have to come in and follow the guidelines under the city's rules.
Correct.
Which Mr. Nisha Riley is spearheaded, so they have to name application and et cetera, and then she have to go back and check to make sure it's not heirs property and the taxes is up and et cetera.
Correct.
Then she sat down with that family and approve or disapprove them to be able to receive a portion of this affordable housing. And that's the way the council members get a chance to be able to, each district hopefully we'll have a house that can be approved by Ms. Riley in our district.
Mhm.
Am I correct?
That is correct.
Once you go through the attorney and then,
Right.
Sort of preservation and all of that.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, that's the city's housing program.
Can you explain more about public service?
So public service is the it's the GPP program, the Great Criminal Partnership Program.
Okay.
And for people to understand the great part, that's when our children come and work.
That's the
Doing
program
the
for the city of Valdosta. We partnership with Valdosta High School to get 5 to 7 kids, and they work an intern for July 8 to 5, and then they work on part time for 2 years.
Also, you can, if they work in qualified of age requirements, they can get a permanently hired.
If the city has a position open, so far, and we've done 3 or 4 GPP children that we've hired. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Any other comments or questions?
Could you explain to the citizens a little bit more about the fair housing education that Ms. Nietzsche gives to them so they'll understand it better? Ms. Nietzsche, will you go up there and kind of tell us about the fair housing
Yes.
education, please, ma'am?
So the fair housing aspect is to educate the citizens, or to try to overcome any barriers that may be preventing them from being a homeowner or rental properties, any barriers that could prevent them from receiving fair housing. So just like this past Saturday, we have a fair housing townhouse. We're looking forward to doing one again in October. We're also trying to tackle the heirs properties. So those are some of the barriers that we're trying to overcome within the city of Valdosta.
So, Ms. Nietzsche, if I start completing this paperwork and I go step by step and I get combobulated, I can come to you and you can direct me into what I should do next.
So if you have an application and you're stuck and you don't quite understand, you can come to the city and we will try to explain to you. However, we try to ask you to bring a family member to help you assist you in filling out the paperwork, because the city doesn't want to be legally bound if anything happens. So we want you to bring a family member to help assist you. But we will answer any question that any citizen may have.
Thank you.
And with that, can I just ask you, maybe like you're doing a presentation at a town hall thing pretty soon before this period ends, for the 24th, is there any way possible we might get you to come to speak to a lot of people, we can get them together. There are a lot of questions. I don't understand a lot of it, and I do try to direct them to you because I don't want to get it worse than it is out there. So anyway, we can get you to come to a town hall meeting on the 17th of June.
I would have to check my schedule, but if I'm free. But we did have a town hall this past weekend, but we are trying to address any questions that any citizen may have. But yes, ma'am, I don't mind.
So with this being live streamed, Mr. Nietzsche, our citizens can watch this.
Yes, ma'am.
Over and over on our website.
Yes, ma'am.
And you gave your name and your email address, so they can email you with questions and etc. That when they do come with their paperwork and they bring someone with them, they should be a little knowledgeable of what you're going to, questions you're going to ask and requirements that they need.
Yes, ma'am. Or they can give me a call at 229-671-3617. If I can't assist you, we do have Ms. Charisma Harp, who is our program coordinator, who may be able to assist you. We also have Mr. Richard Joyner, who is our construction coordinator, who may be able to assist you as well.
And hours for us to call you is from what to what?
8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Great presentation. I just want to say on behalf of the city of Valdosta / District 1, Councilwoman Cody, I want to say to you, Ms. Riley, and Ms.
Canberra.
Great presentation for our citizens in the city of Valdosta. Great job. We thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want to be on the shit my head.